Congressman Matt Gaetz represents the state of Florida. He joins us tonight. Congressman, thanks a lot for coming on.
Good to be on, Tucker.
Now, you have read this memo. Assure us that it's not being oversold. You think this memo will change the conversation about how surveillance is used against American citizens?
I absolutely do, Tucker. And there are two things that the American people should evaluate when they read this memo. The first is you've got to evaluate the memo in the context of the 5 months of missing text messages between Peter Strzok and his mistress, Lisa Page. You can't evaluate those two things separately. They have to be evaluated together. Second thing, the American people should watch.
I beg your pardon. Let me just stop you there. How are those connected exactly?
Well, Tucker, again, I can't get into the specifics of precisely that connectivity. I can only say that I don't think it's an accident that Strzok and Page, who were volleying text messages back and forth more than a high school cheerleading squad, all of a sudden have a 5-month black hole in the middle of that exchange right at the exact time that one would anticipate a conspiracy would be ongoing to undermine the president, ending in the appointment of Robert Mueller conspicuously the very day that the Strzok and Page text messages come back online. So it's no coincidence. The second thing you've got to evaluate is the manner in which evidence presented to the court was corroborated. The problem with lies is that you got to keep telling them. You can't just tell one lie. You have to then use other lies to corroborate your existing lies. It's my position that the Mueller probe is intractably infected, that it is built on a rotten foundation, and that it should end immediately so that we can focus on the real challenge of reforming the FBI and the Department of Justice so that this never happens again under a Republican or Democrat administration.
So, and that's right. It's a bipartisan concern because what you're suggesting is corruption so deep and menacing that every American ought to be really upset about it. Can you pledge as a member of Congress that you will do everything you can to expose this and, let people make their own decisions about whether it's appalling or not? But don't you think it's important for our citizens to have faith in their government, and in order to have that faith, they need more information soon?
Well, absolutely. I haven't been in Congress for a very long time, but I don't think you solve a lot of problems by having members of Congress meet with each other behind closed doors and share their outrage with each other. I think we've got to have sunlight, transparency, so that we can all have a national debate about what type of government we want to have, what type of surveillance system we want to have, what type of information has to corroborate the stuff that is presented to courts before people's liberty is impaired. And so I think that that's an important national discussion to have. And I think the only way we're going to get there is by releasing this memo. The good news is that Devin Nunes and the members of the Intelligence Committee on the Republican side want to do that. The Democrats are all over the place. I have a hard time keeping track of where they are. First, they vote against allowing members of Congress to see it. Then they now apparently have their own memo, which is just a ludicrous proposition.
I mean, it would be interesting. We can't successfully get any Democrat on the show to explain. It would be interesting to hear the argument against releasing it. But am I mistaken in remembering that the FISA law was just reauthorized by Congress? I think that's right. Wouldn't it have been helpful to have this argument before that happened?
I would have preferred that, Tucker. It is important to note that the reauthorization of FISA was not a blanket reauthorization. There were additional due process protections that were included. That was specifically for the 702 section of FISA, which deals with overseas collection of intelligence. And when we release the memo, we'll be able to see how that precisely interacts or maybe doesn't interact. But again, can't confirm or deny those details.
So the rest of us are getting really anxious, not because of partisan reasons, but because you want to trust that your government's law enforcement agencies aren't being used for political purposes. Really simple and important. When are we going to see the memo?
I think that we'll see it within the next 2 weeks. The important thing is that now Democrats are making a claim that the memo is conclusory. So I think Chairman Nunes is right to look at what supporting information can be released along with the memo that validates it. I think that will help us to be able to have a more robust fact-based discussion rather than just lobbing conclusions at one another. And that's why the memo hasn't been released yet. I think the chairman and the committee are rightfully going through that process so that we don't disclose sources and methods or put Americans who are downrange in any jeopardy, but that we absolutely expose what I believe is a deep-seated corruption that has really undermined this presidency, unfortunately.
No, I think that's wise. The intel community specializes in releasing their conclusions without telling you how they got there, and it does not inspire trust. Congressman, thank you very much for coming on tonight.